Hello, my lovelies. So, this video is another commentary-esque one. If you do not wish to listen to me talking for however long this goes on, then you're of course free to mute the audio and listen to something else. I hope you enjoy the video nonetheless, of course. Today will be hopefully more organized than my previous one, as I actually have a topic to speak on. As of recording this audio, the trailer for the Winchesters show has dropped about a week and a bit ago, and I have some emotions about it, which I wish to talk about. So I am a massive fan of Supernatural. I've been watching it for a number of years and plan on continuing to watch it for as long as I can. I have books and merch and a lot of stuff, and hell, I even plan on getting a tattoo of it, so it's kind of extreme. But this show doesn't seem like it will do it justice. For anyone unaware, The Winchesters is a prequel to the show Supernatural. It's seemingly about, well, it is about Mary and John before they had the boys. It's how they met, how they got into a relationship, and whatnot. However, it breaks a lot. And I mean a lot. To begin with, the entire show retcons John in a lot of major ways. In the original series, he began out as a newbie hunter. He started hunting because of what happened to Mary, not because he was a hunter before then. In the trailer, however, it is seemingly that it seems, frankly, that Mary brought him into the life, which is false. Mary herself has wanted to get out of hunting, and even before wanted to get out of hunting for many years. It's the reason why she had gotten so attached to John. He was an escape for her. But in this show, her bringing him into a lifestyle that she has been trying to escape for a number of years, most likely, doesn't make sense. Their entire dynamic seems to be that Mary is going to be this badass woman because woman empowerment, and hey, who doesn't like to see that? But it's woman empowerment at the sake of breaking canon. I have seen a number of comments on the video that have all illustrated the point of why fans don't like the show, and I agree with so many of them. At its core, Supernatural is not about certain empowerment. It's about freedom, it's about free will, about people following their destinies but breaking it at the same time. Having a show like The Winchesters come after something as grandeur as Supernatural doesn't feel right. The only way that this show could really exist is if they use the explanation of a parallel universe, which doesn't really exist. They have parallel Earths, but those were all destroyed by Chuck a while ago. And if it isn't parallel universes, then they would have to explain it through John losing the memory of being a hunter, in which case the question of what's the point is brought up. What's the point of having a series where the main, or presumably main character, will eventually just lose their memories for the sake of being within continuity? It doesn't make much sense, frankly, and I want to like this show because, frankly, I just want more Supernatural content in my life. However, this is done poorly at best and will be executed terribly at worst. They have an amazing crew of actors, but there are so many better ways that they could have gone about this. I have seen a number of comments on the video about better premises. Things like a show centered around Mary, but her life before she met John, something that shows us why she hates hunting as much as she does. And although that may be something that's obvious to a lot of people, it could still be an interesting premise to explore. We don't find out why. As far as I remember, it could be that perhaps she lost a friend, perhaps she lost somebody else close to her, a previous boyfriend maybe, and as a result, she wanted to get out of hunting even more after finding John. Or they could have created a show about John after Mary died, about him learning to become a hunter while having to struggle with raising two children, about how he met Bobby and Rufus and everything that he learned from them while being on the road, about how he was a newbie. But I feel like with a show like that, it would also be important to not sugarcoat the fact that in the end, he wasn't a good parent. He was abusive, he was an ass, frankly, and he hurt his sons, which could be something to explore, him learning. Perhaps the end of the series could be a memento to Supernatural. His death scene, maybe. Perhaps him in heaven reflecting on life and realizing that maybe while he was raising the boys to be hunters, he wasn't raising them to be children. He wasn't raising them to be stable adults, and they suffered for it. All because he was doing what he thought was right in the end, and really it wasn't. There are a number of premises that could have been interesting to play with, that could have been something that could have gotten fans really excited, and yet they provided us with a trailer for a show that seems like it's a cookie cutter. There is a powerful woman and there is a man who will most likely be the comedic relief, who will be her love interest. There are friends, and obviously the woman is going to be super badass and super strong, despite the fact that in many cases we have been told that John was a better hunter than Mary. It's a shame because this show had potential. It has potential, but it's also something that is trying to follow up on Supernatural by changing the lore. I am optimistic for this show, I will say that. For as negative as this video has been and the critiques that I have said, this show still has a chance and I will give it one. But I'm not entirely convinced that it won't be bad, frankly. It is changing a lot of what we know, and there are better premises that could have worked more, but they aren't using them. Hell, a show with a younger Bobby and Rufus would have been amazing. There are so many fans that want to see more of those two because frankly we just didn't get enough. Sure, we got the alternate universe Bobby, but that isn't the same one that belonged to the world that we had gotten so used to know. It's a shame, because I know that there are people who, just on the premise of the show alone, will be of the opinion that it is not worth it. And I have a feeling that I am slowly going onto that boat. Which is a shame, because Supernatural is an amazing series and it deserves a good sequel or prequel or whatever, but it isn't being handled right. We have had this show for 15 years. It was something else, and it went on for so long that after a certain point, fans didn't mind small retcons. Certain things that made sense in previous seasons but didn't make sense in the later seasons, we understood and we accepted it because of how long the show had been going on for. Small retcons weren't anything new by that point, but the Winchesters are starting on an entirely blank slate, and they have to try and follow 15 years of development and 15 years of stories and things that have happened to both the boys and Mary and John. It's something. I don't know what else to say, really. The show has potential, and I want to believe that it can be something good because there is a team of amazing actors and actresses and writers and directors behind it. But in the end, it's still breaking so much that made supernatural. Mary didn't want to be a hunter. John wasn't just some kind of noob to hunting. And, well, that is already too much to take for some fans, and it's a shame. This show has some potential. The premise, sure, it could do some work, perhaps some retconning even, but if done correctly, it could be good. It doesn't just have to be terrible because it's breaking supernatural headcanon, but at the same time, it all depends on how they go about it. Why is John aware of the supernatural in this series but not in the actual supernatural? They have to give a viable explanation for that, otherwise it breaks too much for fans to just let it go. I have faith in this series, or at least I like to think that I will have faith in this series. I'll try and watch it. Hey, I might even make a review of it. I'm not sure. But so far, what we've been given hasn't shown it in the best light. Of course, this might just be because it's a 3-minute trailer and it can't explain everything or give too much away, but a trailer is supposed to hook you into a show. It is supposed to make you want to watch it, and yet it seems that this trailer has done the opposite for so many fans, and it's a shame because Jensen especially seemed so excited to announce the fact that he was working on a sequel, and to see what it is disappointing. I'm hoping that it isn't as bad as it seems, that plot holes or whatever it may be are filled in, that there is a proper explanation, but we can only really just wait and see if that's true or not. And hey, it could be good, it could be amazing, it could be better than the original, but I have my doubts. Well, this video has gone on for quite long enough, and hey, I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun to record, and I had a blast making the GIF that I was drawing in the background. I hope you all enjoy it, and I hope some of you at least would be willing to give the new show a chance. I know I'm going to try, and hopefully it will be good. But this is Moondrop signing off, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Bye!
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.